the legacy of Ayers was the merchandise. Even if it was in the downstairs store, which was the cheaper end, it would be more, that would be more like Target is now or something like that, because the same buyers used to buy for the downstairs store that bought the Ayr Way clothes that Target is now, though. And so the merchandise was good, it was just at a reasonable price that everybody could afford it. And when you went in Ayers, you felt you were really grand.
I remember the sales, and because you could get such fabulous things in the basement on the sale that you couldn't get at regular price.
Yes, the budget store had been and Ayr Way were operating as one, under one buyer's, one merchandising program, because Ayr Way started when I was in college. The merchandising of all that was handled at the warehouse, and Ayr Way was going to the point they thought it was time to split them apart. So they were creating buying positions. Some of the people were going to stay with the Ayers division, some were going to the Ayr Way division, and there were some new openings. So they were assigning a buyer for sportswear, and I had a sportswear background from my years at Blocks. When I was in college, I sold in the sportswear department.
The budget store in Ayr Way is one of the smart things about Ayers is that when they launched something like Ayr Way, they mitigated their risk by having existing functions within Ayers help start that new entity. They did that similarly with Sycamore stores later, but they did that with Ayr Way, and to start Ayr Way, they used the budget store merchandising group to buy for a couple of years not only budget store merchandise, but Ayr Way merchandise. And therein put a quality team of people in place to help the fledgling newcomer Ayr Way to get going. Somewhere in there, in the late 50s and 60s, the beginning of discount stores. And the discount stores spreading from the East Coast to the Midwest and to the West, and coming into our market as a competitor. And the typical discount store, or I should say most of the discount stores of that time, tended to be price driven. That is, low price, which equates across to low quality. The Ayers management team looked at this phenomenon, recognized that it was real, it was good, it was here to stay, chose to enter that market, and chose to enter it, and the key thing about Ayr Way was not driven by price, but driven by quality, but at a discount price where the company gave up some margin and the vendor gave up some margin in order to pass through to the customer quality merchandise at a discount price.